Alright, so for this video I wanted to go over my experience that I've had with the PS5 so far, some stuff that you probably want to know if you're looking to buy one, and some good and bad points about the system as far as if I've had any issues with it at all or with gameplay issues. There are no spoilers in this. This is gameplay footage of Spider-Man Miles Morales, but this is free roam after the story is done, so there won't be any story indicators popping up or anything like that. Also, this was recorded directly off the PS5, and if it doesn't look as good on your screen, it's probably because of what you're watching it on. But if you're not watching this on a 4K display, it's not going to look as good as what it really does in game. So as far as the good points about this thing, it looks absolutely incredible. Unbelievable how the graphics look on this thing. The ray tracing, the lighting, the graphics in general, the fidelity is just unreal. And also at the end of this video, I'm going to include some screenshots from cutscenes within the game that show off some of the ray tracing and lighting that you see in this game. That could be seen as spoiler territory for some people, so if you do not want to see any of that stuff, I'll let you know when the video is over before I show that stuff as well, if you don't want to see any spoiler type stuff with the game at all. One of the big things that I noticed with the PS5 is how snappy the UI is. It is so quick navigating around the menu. It is night and day difference compared to the PS4. And I had the PS4 Pro as soon as that came out. And just navigating through all the options menus and going from different sections within the UI, it's just so quick, it's so responsive. And I can't praise it enough for how well of a job they did with that. Now, as far as any problems that I've had with the system, I don't know if I really want to call this a problem with the system. It may have been an HDMI cord issue. On Saturday morning after release, I wanted to turn the PS5 on. I hit the home button on the controller, and the light turned blue on the controller, but the PS5 did not do anything. It didn't turn on, it didn't beep. It was like it wasn't even plugged in. And I tried to do it from the button directly on the PS5 to turn it on, and I still got nothing. So I suspected that it may have been a loose HDMI cable. So I went to the back of the PS5, made sure it was secure, went to the connection on the back of my TV, and I made sure both of them were plugged in. I hit the home button on the controller again, and everything turned on. So I have a feeling that it probably was a loose cable and just wasn't having good connection. And I've turned it on and off a bunch since then, and it's never replicated that same problem. So unless it comes up again, I'm going to pretty much consider that as a HDMI cord issue. And I did have some issues with Spider-Man Miles Morales. This isn't directly related to the PS5 because it was more or less an issue with the game. But I had one crash on the game. I've had two out-of-map experiences where I got stuck outside of the map and I couldn't get back in, so I had to restart the checkpoint over again. And there was one quest where this isn't really anything important with the story or anything like that, so I'll just tell you what happened. You had to take a picture of people's faces for this quest line, and I took a photo of the guy's face, and it was supposed to prompt the next cutscene or the next sequence of events to happen, and that didn't happen. I went through and watched the video, and I was on the right guy, so I reloaded the checkpoint again and tried it again, and it worked that time. So Spider-Man Miles Morales has been slightly buggy. It's not like it's non-playable. It runs great, it looks amazing, but there have been a few issues here and there, but overall it's a stable, well-played game, so you shouldn't have any concerns with getting it. Games crash from time to time. Going out of the map issue is a software issue, most likely. Maybe that's something that they can patch later on to make it better. But overall, it was a pretty solid game. So this brings up the point of, is it worth upgrading to the PS5 if you have a PS4? The answer isn't a simple yes or no. There are other factors that come into play. I'm playing this on an LG CX TV with HDMI 2.1. HDMI 2.1 comes into play with things such as ray tracing and other added benefits and tech built into the PS5 that you cannot get with HDMI 2.0. Also, it's 4K. The PS4 Pro is 4K, but if you're going from the PS4 to the PS5, the base PS4 or the PS5, there'll be a huge difference in what you see. But that also comes down to what you're playing on. If you're playing on a 1080p TV and you buy a PS5 expecting to see amazing graphics, that's not going to happen unless you have a 4K TV with 2.1 HDMI, where you can get the full 100% tech built into the PS5 displayed on the screen for you. Now, does this mean if you have an HDMI 2.0 4K TV that you shouldn't buy the PS5? No, that's not what I'm saying. You can still buy the PS5 and see some amazing graphics with this thing. It looks spectacular, phenomenal. But there are a few things that you're not going to get. You're not going to see the ray tracing and things like that. And the lighting and ray tracing in this game it just blew me away. I played Spider-Man Miles Morales in fidelity mode because I wanted to see that. When I play through the game again, I'm going to do it in 60 frames per second instead of the 30. But you lose the ray tracing and everything else when you play it in 60. So I wanted to see all the benefits of the full graphical power of these first release games on the PS5, and it looked incredible. There isn't any regrets for me buying this, and this is just the first crop of games that come out with this thing. As developers have more time with the system, the games are going to get even better. The ray tracing will get better. The lighting will get better. So in the end, I mean, these are very hard to get. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You're probably not going to be able to walk into a store and grab one probably for a few months. Your best bet is probably to go online to look for one. But if you're 4K ready or HDMI 2.1 ready and you're looking to get a PS5, it's well worth it. I've been playing this non-stop since I picked it up on Thursday, and I love it. It's a great system. I'm only digging into the very base of what this thing will do as far as graphics, and there are more added features that will come with this over time. It's the same thing when the PS4 launched. There weren't as many features built into the UI on the PS4 when it first came out as there was for the PS3, but as we go forward, there'll be more things added to the system. It runs great. I have no complaints. It's quiet. It's very, very quiet. I have no way of testing the temperature other than a digital thermometer that shoots out the infrared beam to test it, which I'm not sure how accurate that really is, but it's quiet. You'll hear it every once in a while. You'll hear the fan kick on a little bit, but for the most part, very, very quiet. Nothing compared to the PS4 and the PS4 Pro. So that's pretty much it, guys. That's everything I wanted to cover on my short-term experience with the PS5 so far, and I look forward to all the games that are coming out. And from this point on, I'll roll the screenshots that I took within games. So if you want to go completely spoiler-free for Miles Morales, then I suggest you click off now. But if you want to see some of the amazing 4K features on this thing and the ray tracing effects and the lighting, then you can watch it to the very end. But that's all for now. I'll most likely do some more PS5 stuff later on. I'm not sure when. It's not the main focus of the channel, but I'll try and cover some more stuff as it becomes viable and maybe do some gameplay stuff if I get a camera and stuff like that and get it all hooked up. But that's all for now, everyone. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time.